Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. For today's video I'm going to show you how to get this romantic summer glowy look here, so let's get started. So with my bare face I'm going to be taking this NARS foundation in Vallauris, I think it's called. And I'm only going to be taking a really small amount of it because recently I've been very much so into light layers of foundation with medium coverage, like a light to medium buildable coverage. And sorry in advance if my voice sounds a little off today. I have no idea why, but I just can't seem to talk properly. It just feels very weak. Maybe I'm getting sick, I don't know. But anyway, I'm just taking this curved foundation brush and lightly spreading that all over my skin. And I really love this NARS foundation recently because it's kind of a satin finish, so it's not too dewy and it's not too matte. Then taking this Nude by Nature concealer, which I recently got. I'm going to be using that to cover my under eye circles. And I'm really enjoying this concealer because it's a hydrating concealer specifically for the under eye area. So if you have dry skin and aging skin, this is a really good one to try out. So after I've applied that, I'm just blending it out with this Eco Tools concealer brush. As you can see, this concealer is in a shade that closely matches my skin tone, so it's not giving me too much of an illuminating effect. Then going in with this Skin Trick powder by Majolica, which is really old. I've had it since I lived in Japan, but it honestly is my favorite setting powder to mattify the skin, as it's really soft, it blurs out the pores, and it doesn't feel heavy at all. So I'm just applying that to the areas of my face that I want to control the oil on, so mainly the T-zone. Then going in with this e.l.f. eyebrow pencil in the light brown shade, I'm just filling in my brows as I normally would, only this time I'm not going to be using eyebrow mascara, which I usually always do, but today I figured I would just skip it and go for a really soft and fluffy brow look. So I'm just lightly blending that out and moving on to contour, and here I'm taking my Sleek contouring kit in the light shade and using that to contour my cheekbones and entire face. Recently I've been getting quite a few questions about my contour routine, or specifically how I get my jawline so sharp. I think a lot of people thought I had something done, but I haven't. I've just been contouring a little more heavily than I normally would. So I've been trying new makeup looks recently. So as you can see, this is one that I've been doing recently. So instead of just doing the cheekbones, I actually contour under the apples of my cheeks as well. And then for the jawline, I've been applying a heavier layer of contour, specifically closer to my ear, to really get that really sharp and defined look without having to get like fillers or anything like that. So that is what I've been doing to get my jawline and face to look a little more defined and sharp. It's just a lot of contour that's been thoroughly blended out. As you can see, I spend a lot of time blending my contour because I'm really someone who doesn't like harsh contouring lines. It's just not for me. And then I always take whatever's left over and put it on my forehead as well. So there's a little side-by-side comparison of the non-contoured side of my face compared to the contoured side, which looks more sharp and defined without any harsh lines. So now I'm going to be moving on and doing my usual nose contour, which is a contouring technique and style that I found out while I was living in Japan, which I think was like 2 years ago now, which is absolutely insane. So this is just what I've always done. I just really focus on the tip of my nose to give it that button nose effect, so really contouring the sides and then lifting the nose at the tip, and then also carving out the nostrils just a little bit as well. And then I really create that button nose effect by putting a little line above the tip as well, and then just going in and blending it out. Then just taking whatever powder is left over on my face brush, I use that to blend as well. And then going into the Sleek blush set, I'm taking this really lovely kind of peachy pink shade that's in a medium tone and using that on the apples of my cheek and along the top part of my contouring shade. This is also a new way I've been applying blush, because for the longest time I only applied it to the top areas, like the mid-top section of my cheekbones, but recently I've been actually bringing it into the actual inner part of my cheek and then up along the temples as well. I find this style of blush really complements the contouring around the cheeks as well, especially along the apples of the cheeks. And then recently for the summer, I've been loving giving that sun-kissed kind of red look by applying the blush on the bridge of my nose in the middle, on the chin, and a little bit left over on the forehead. Then taking this really old Etude House V-Line Slim Maker contouring shade, which is more of a bronzer for my current skin tone, I'm just using that to lightly bronze up that blush area as well. Then for highlight, I'm taking the same highlighter from that contouring set and applying that to the tops of my cheeks, where I normally would apply highlighter, so there's really nothing new with this. Then I'm applying the smallest amount to the very upper tip of my chin, the tip of my nose, and the center between my eyes. This specific method on the nose really gives that button effect. Then taking the Soft Glam palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, I'm taking the shade Sultry and applying that to my entire lid space with a medium flat eyeshadow brush. And just really lightly blending that into the crease area, but keeping it still a little bit isolated on the cheek. Then taking Sienna, I am using that with a small pencil brush to define my crease and deepen it a little bit. Then pulling whatever is left over onto that outer corner as well, and just kind of going all in the crease without blending it too much. Then I'm going to be blending it with my transition shade Rustic, and kind of blending that Sienna shade, but not going into that crease area because we don't want to overlap that Sienna color too much. Then taking whatever is left over on the brush, I'm just pulling it all the way along my lower lash line and connecting it to that outer corner. Then with the highlighter shade from the Sleek palette, I'm just going to highlight my inner corner and my brow bone as well. Then taking this DUP Silky Liquid Eyeliner in Brown Black, which I've had for a long time now, like almost 2 years as well, but it's really good and it lasts long. I'm just using that to create a winged liner look, but a wing that isn't too dramatic. I kind of want a smaller wing that is really focused on the outer corner and gets really thin towards the inner corner. So just doing how I normally would do liquid eyeliner and then connecting it to that inner corner. And for me, whenever I do liquid eyeliner, I like to put a little tiny dot right on that inner tear duct. And then taking this mascara by Eyemania, which I also got in Japan, I'm just using that on my lower lashes because, as you can see, I have eyelash extensions on that are half falling off. Then taking this April Skin eyeliner, I'm using it to redefine my freckles. Recently, I've had this desire to redefine freckles every time I do my makeup because I want it to look like I'm not really wearing foundation, if you know what I mean. I want it to look like perfect, but also not too perfect. So I just like to go over where my natural freckles exist, and then after it dries, I just like to lightly buff it out so it looks natural and they stand out a little bit more. Then taking MAC's Twig lipstick, I'm just applying a really light layer of that to my lips just to kind of deepen my natural lip color just slightly. And that is it for this romantic summer glow look. I've really been into this style of makeup this year. It's just really kind of bronzy, it's not too heavy, it's totally wearable, and with the style of contouring, it just looks really flattering on me. But there's one thing wrong with this footage. If you guys notice something wrong and a flaw, let me know in the comment section down below because it's a pretty bad flaw at the end of that video. So let me know if you figured it out in the comment section down below, but I'm not going to tell you, so you guys got to figure out what the flaw was. Anyway, subscribe to see more. Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye!